Christmas, or Luminalia, looks like it might be coming a little bit early for Stanton's industrialists. The long-awaited first iteration of Salvage seems to be just round the corner. 3.18's yet to hit open PTU, and I don't like covering leaks on the channel, so this is going to be a bit of a theorycraft about how we might run small and large salvage ops. If that sounds good to you, then grab a cup of tea while I roll the intro, and then let's get into it.
It's the feel-good song of the century. Thank you, Gator. Here's a better one. A much better song. Thank you so much, Gator, for those 1,000 bits. That is $10 worth of Bezos bits right there. Listen to me. Bezos probably thanks you for that, but I thank you even more than Bezos. And fuck Bezos. Just saying. I know I'm going to get banned off Twitch for saying that, but really, fuck Bezos. What'd he do? He made everything very easy to get to my house. Actually, Bezos, Jeff, listen to me. You made things super easy to get to my house, and you destroyed all of American small mom and pop shops, which is terrible, and I hate you for that. But you also made things super convenient, where things just show up at my door literally a day after I order it, because I mean, that's how connected we are, and that's scary, Bezos, and you take complete advantage of that. You knew that was going to be a reality. You said, I'm going to be the guy that offers you every single thing, and I'm going to sell you bits. You were the guy behind crypto before it was crypto. You made bits, people bought them, and they're tipping me with them, and that converts into money, and thank you, Bezos, for that. I appreciate that. But on the mom and pop store front where you killed all the Americana vibes, shame on you. Shame on you for that. You should think about the repercussions of your decisions. Should have been a grown-up.
Shame.
Should have thought about all those mom and pops out there that are poor now and destitute, living in the streets, shooting up heroin. It's a horrible epidemic. There are plenty of mom and pops from shops that do not exist anymore, and they're all on crank, and it's very bad. And it's all your fault, Bezos. It's all your fault. We can blame your biddies for that. Gator, thank you for those bits, by the way.
Shame.
I don't know where I'm going with that one. Cookie's with me.
Hello and welcome back, or welcome to the channel. I'm Loudguns, and today we're going to be looking at this first iteration of the Salvage game loop, hole stripping. Essentially, this is peeling the shiny coating.
I might get banned for talking about hole stripping. I'm just saying right now, I don't know what this guy's thinking. I could get banned for talking about hole stripping. I mean, there's an OnlyFans page for that.
Off ships and recycling the valuable materials contained within. It looks set to be a profitable profession, with RMC, the commodity produced by hole scraping, being billed as on par with the most valuable minables, so I'm guessing that's Quantanium, which sells for about 8.8k per SCU. When the patch goes live, players will be able to salvage by hand using a Greycat multi-tool attachment, which I believe is going to be freely available, and 2 ships will be hole strip capable. We've got the Drake Vulture, which will be releasing for those who pledged cash for it this patch. This solo scraper was shown off at the recent IAE, and think about it as almost the Prospector analogue of the salvage world, with a comfortable, if very Drake cab and living quarters for the solo operator, and a cargo hold in the back for 12 SCU of RMC. The Aegis Reclaimer, on the other hand, is at the other end of the spectrum. This beast, with its straight-out Aliens vibe, has long been one of my favourite looking ships.
We just did a highlight on the Reclaimer and why it's so important in 3.18. You guys got to check that out on the YouTube channel like right now. Just stop watching me live. Go check out this video. It's a really good video about why the Reclaimer is the only ship that matters in 3.18.
But it finally looks set to lose the mantle of most expensive FPS level.
Just do it, Panda.
Hole stripping is only part of the Reclaimer's envisaged functionality.
It's a good video.
The ship also has a complement of tractor beams and a crushing claw that should help it to munch down bigger pieces of hull. But at least for the time being, it looks set to get some real use.
Can we applause that? Somebody followed my instructions there, left the own string. Panda just left to watch that video. Panda, that's high-level commitment. I'm literally telling people to leave my stream and watch my YouTube highlights. It's, videos from it's how I cut my Twitch stream up, and he's watching me in the past right now while you guys are watching me in the present. And really, something's happening right now where people are watching me in the future. I don't want to talk about that. It's scary.
Unlike the Vulture, the Reclaimer will be buyable for credits as it is now in stores, although it will set you back 15.1 million, which could be a tall order right after a wipe.
There's another 2 that
Don't get me wrong, I understand
They're going there
capitalism,
now.
but it's a bit of a shame to me that probably for the next patch, the entry-level ship for a brand new profession is cash only. So during this vid, I'm going to try and put together a few ways in which groups of players might be able to work on the loop together, giving more people a chance to get involved in the loop and potentially yielding greater returns by working together. One of the key things which really attracted me to Star Citizen was the potential for running multifaceted operations.
Yeah.
The more you look at different game loops, the more you start to see the synergies between them.
Yeah.
This is why I set my org Frontier Consolidated up with 5 different divisions covering the broad areas of industrial, combat, support, logistics, and exploration and science.
Here's the thing that you can take away from this, right? It is hard to be one of these organizations that does like most everything, right? Most people start organizations where they feel like they have to be the everything organization. And I can tell you that only a very small percentage of those organizations are successful. They're very successful, but there's a very small percentage of organizations that can do everything in one. So if you are part of an organization that does everything in one, just be very careful. 95% of those will fail. It's too much to handle for most people. You got to have a leader that is all about doing all the work that's necessary, creating these divisions. It's not easy. As a guy who did this for Band of Brothers back in the day with EVE Online, and I was like one of the upper ups, right? It was hell. Diplomatic talks through the wazoo, talking on TeamSpeak back in the day, and talking with people who are taking things way seriously because it was EVE Online, as they should. But yeah, at the end of the day, Tech, that's exactly what happened. So I highly recommend, why am I having this talk right now? I think it's a good talk to have. It's kind of unrelated to this video, but we are talking about organizations right now. I would focus on either creating or joining an organization that focused on one aspect of gameplay. That's it. And they were niche, and you're going to be 100% more successful. Maybe an AI org leader. Right, Tech. Some of the things we've been watching, right, dude? AI is going to take over that too. Right.
There's a link to our Discord in the video description if you'd like to come in.
Thank you, Oz.
Bring it down.
I appreciate you.
Someday.
Mom's is calling me right now. One moment, everybody. Mama Games is on the phone here, and I tried to get her on, but she knew that we were streaming, and she's going through a lot right now. So obviously, she was like, probably not a good time for her to talk. I'm gonna be taking her to the hospital again next week. I can't get into that too much. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But I need to text her. One quick second. Thank you, everybody. Let's say, hey, Mama. I'm streaming right now. I'll call you when I'm finished. Love you. There you go. All right. Sent that to Mama Games. Got to make sure. Oz says hi. Hold on. Typing it in right now. Oz says hi. All right. Here you go, Oz. She knows you guys. Oh, hold on. It's turning into a chain text here. Kiss says hi. Hold on a second. Kiss. Hold on. Let me type this in. Kiss also says hi. Okay. Here we go. Uh-huh. She's typing. Hold on. She's typing a second. This is great. Aw, she's going through so much right now. She says she loves everyone. And she says, don't worry about it. So there you go. That's Mama Games right there. I'm going through so much right now. I was thinking to myself, I want to make more shorts for you guys so you guys can kind of get the vibe of what's going on in my daily. I'm grinding. I'm doing crazy amounts of DoorDash right now. I'm taking that money. I'm shoving it into different stocks and cryptos. There's so much I want to get you guys involved in and tell you what's going on with my life right now. It's craziness. Craziness. Thank you. Thank you, Kiss. There, DY said hello as well. Hold on. I'm putting DY saying hello as well. Okay, let me put that in here. Thank you. She loves you guys. She really does. She talks about you guys a lot, actually. So does Christy. I gotta get more. See, this is my problem. Yeah, DY. Oh, she's typing back. Hold on. Okay. She says, thank you to everyone. I love you. Wow. That was awesome. That was awesome. Okay. Back to the video.
And hang out and consider joining up. A lot's been made of the cargo refactor, which is also coming with 3.18, as the pure tool of pirates. But to be honest, piracy is a tiny little part of why the cargo refactor is so important.
Infinite Berries asking a question in chat. Infinite Berries asking, do players compete for the same resource at the same time in Star Citizen? If not, there is the problem. There will be that aspect of play through the dynamic economy that will eventually be part of the game mechanics, but are not in yet, Infinite Berries. So right now, as of this moment where we are at, no. But where we're shooting for, yes. Because I am a huge economic game player. So I am all about that, Infinite. It was the best, right, Panda? Thank you. Welcome back, dude. You came back, you watched the video. Thank you. Thank you, Panda. Welcome back. And you are one of the most devoted DG360 fans, dudes.
The physicalization of cargo is what will eventually make multiple loops possible to integrate. And in the future, far more transfers of cargo boxes between players are going to be between mutually consenting parties. The key to optimizing a good industrial operation is to analyze your bottlenecks and do what you can to minimize them, therefore maximizing your profits per hour. In a mining operation, and I assume salvage operations are going to follow a similar pathway, two key bottlenecks appear. The first is finding something to mine, or in this case salvage, and then the second is the return to base, the run back to the refinery in the mining world. So let's focus on the second element first, because it really ties into the cargo refactor. Miners currently face a problem that they have to transport their goods to a refinery, and if you're mining Quantanium, that's done under time pressure. All the time you take travelling is dead time, you're not doing the thing, finding, lasering and scooping rocks, that makes the money. The same is going to happen with salvaging. Once your 12 SCU cargo hold is filled up in the Vulture, you're going to need to go and sell up. But what if you could instead hand off to another ship? Ideally one more suited for the job, like a specialised cargo ship. That could transport more RMC, contains a faster jump drive to reduce the time spent delivering it, and handles better. All of this could make it a more efficient choice. But wait. Didn't you read the cargo refactor AMA? I can almost hear you ask. And yes, the version of the cargo refactor which is coming in with 3.18 does clearly state that if I willingly or unwillingly give you my cargo, it's going to be treated as stolen. But what if you were flying my ship? So I theorised that the ownership of commodities is tied to the player, not to a certain vehicle. I could be incorrect in this assumption, so I want to be really clear that it is one.
No. Commodities should be commodities, not tied to anything. All right? Hold on a second. I think we understand this as economic people. There will be black markets where you can sell these goods, but like to actually say that every single item is going to be tracked or traced to the owner, I'm not sure I want that. I don't know, man. I mean, like, there's an element of real life where I guess that happens, right? But like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if you're a pirate and you take commodities from somebody, they're commodities. I mean, and you go and you sell them where any other person would sell them. If you pirate a miner and you're pirating them, and you take the actual commodities from the source, from the planet or moon, before it even gets on the ship especially, but even if it gets on the ship, they're commodities. They haven't been registered. They haven't been processed. They're raw. And I don't want like this Care Bear put my vile shit on my neck where I'm going to tag every single commodity when I haven't even fucking sold it or registered it yet. Thank you, Oz. Thank you for that. I can't say that enough. What are we doing here? What kind of world are we living in where we gotta like, you know, no. I would say this. This is a big topic, actually. This is a big topic. Perhaps I should do a video on this. This is a big topic.
But CIG have spoken about how players should be able to go back and retrieve their lost cargo. So this implies that as long as my cargo is on one of my ships, it's all good and should be recognised as legal. So I'm planning to do some test ops with my friends to see if we can have a cargo ship owned by the same player who owns the salvage ship, that follows the salvagers around, and when they get full or pull in a good haul, the two ships meet in dead space for a handoff of the RMC. The owner of the ships...
Here's where you break it down. Items that are purchased at stations might be registered if they're loaded up on a ship. Any ship, doesn't matter if it's a Caterpillar, whatever it is, you know, Cutlass, doesn't matter. What matters is if you're buying it from the station, perhaps the commodities, the items that are bought are registered, and then those items have to go through a process where you're taking those items that you stole as a pirate, if you are the pirate in this instance, and you say, hey, I took these items, now I have to sell them at Grim Hex. Okay, black market items. Wonderful. Let's then talk about a completely different side of the market, which is the where you're actually pirating on the ground as miners are mining items on the ground, and they haven't been registered. They haven't gone through the system. Like those items, I don't know, man. Like if you're gonna tag them to the original owner, I don't think that's right. I just don't.
Would need to be the one that went off to sell at intervals when the cargo ship itself gets full up.
Yeah, Kiss.
But ultimately, this can keep the salvage ships doing their thing for longer. And the owner can always hand off control of the salvage ship to their org mates while they go and sell up.
Right. My point exactly.
Not only does this...
My point exactly. Like, those items are being mined off of planets and moons directly. They're not even logged in any system. They haven't gone through the economy yet. Those shouldn't be tagged to the pilot at all, or the ship, personally. The only things I think should be tagged to either the pilot or the ship are commodities that you buy at stations that are directly manifested from that trading console into your ship. Okay. I'm not going to argue it because I don't have any ground to stand on for that argument. But I do have every right as a pirate or as a capitalist, a free market capitalist. I have every opportunity. As a free market capitalist, it sounds better than a pirate, so I will say that the items that are basically straight off the moon that haven't been processed or anything are free game. Now, how do you delineate the difference when you're talking about the development? That's going to be hard.
This mean that the wheels of the operation keep turning. It also means there's a good incentive to rotate positions and let everyone have a go at the loop, even if they don't own a salvage ship right now.
For the best gameplay, that needs to happen.
Let's just double back on ourselves and think about the second bottleneck before we move on.
The best gameplay.
So that's the actual location of minables or salvage. Well, here is where salvage will potentially be a lot easier than mining, because if you can't find it in the wild, why not make it yourselves? CIG used this as an example when they were demonstrating the stripping and repairing features of the Greycat multi-tool attachment, showing a bounty hunter stopping off to strip RMC from their downed enemy to use it in patching up their own ship after taking a few knocks. Bounty hunting missions and combat beacons offer a ready supply of ships that, after they meet your lasers, will be prime salvage. We had some fun testing the Reclaimer in combat, and to be fair to it, with its dual size 5 and 6 dual size 3 turrets, 2 of which can be operational at once, it isn't a total slouch in combat. Plus its 3 size 3 shields make it a pretty tough cookie.
It's more than that. Go check the video out on the main channel about the Reclaimer and why it is one of the most important ships in 3.18.
But alongside your salvage ships and your cargo ships, why not think about incorporating some combat ships to deal with these targets more readily, and as luck would have it, provide some protection to your industrial endeavours. With 318s, Stanton is likely to become something of a more dangerous space, so it always helps to have some friendlies and fighters nearby. But one of the things that I have heard about people not wanting to run escort for industrial players is that if everything goes well for the industrialists, then it's probably a bad day for the combat pilots who might want something more to do. So this game loop has the potential to create some actual gameplay for the combat players, because they get to shoot down the PvE bounties, while also being a good day for the industrialists who get to go and salvage them. So let's take a look at putting this all together into a couple of sample operations, one for a small group of friends and another for the larger orgs to try out. So this op is going to be for a group of 3 to 5 mates, one of whom...
He's using, by the way, he's using Star Jump's Fleet Viewer, and I just want to give a plug to my friend Star Jump. If you haven't checked out Star Jump's Fleet Viewer, it's freaking amazing. We talked about it a lot. We talked to Star Jump about it, and he's done great work with it. I think Star Jump Fleet Viewer is like one of my favorite things to use. Yeah.
Got to swiping at IAE or maybe before and picked up a Drake Vulture.
Welcome to the stream. He's
all of the parts are...
DSP's here live. He's in effect. He's ready. He's coming correct. He's letting us know. First time live. Feeling that first level energy. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, man. What's up? Welcome. Welcome, bro. Welcome. Much love for the DG360 community. We love it when you come in fresh, correct, and you're announcing it. We love it.
They're obviously interchangeable, apart from the Vulture. I just went with a couple of ships that I personally like the most. The Hurricane is probably the most firepower money can buy for the right side of 1.5 million credits, with its combination of 2 size 4s under pilot control and 4 size 3s for the turret gunner. It can chew through targets many times its size while staying manoeuvrable enough to avoid serious return fire.
He did. He really did.
Obviously, the Hurricane does require you to have a turret gunner, so if you've only got one person to dedicate to the combat side, maybe consider something like an Arrow, Gladius, or a Vanguard, where more if not all of the firepower sits directly with the pilot. We obviously have the Vulture sat in the salvage spot here, which should be comfortable enough by design to operate with a single person. However, having seen the way the cargo's pushed out of the compactor and requires stacking, it might actually be worth testing if a second can help speed up the process. Then I've added one of my personal favourites, the Freelancer Max, as the cargo ship. With 120 SCU of cargo capacity, this to me is a great SCU to size and price ratio. The ship can fit a size 2 quantum drive, so you can get a speedy XL1 in there.
By the way, the Freelancer is I believe it was the Orion class ship in Privateer. Hold on one second. Let me just double check this real quick. Hold on one second. Orion Privateer. Let's see if I'm correct. Oh, it's so close. This is Wing Commander. It's so close. But no. It shows it as a mercenary gunship, but it's pretty close. Hold on one second. I just got to show you this. This is what I thought of. This is what I thought of right here. I was close, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. They're defining this as a mercenary ship. But it reminded me, the looks of the Orion very much reminded me of the Freelancer from the. I feel like I miss the old school Freelancer design. The old school Freelancer design gave me that Millennium Falcon type of feel, how the staircase came down from the cockpit area. Man, I miss it. Oh, I miss old school Freelancer. Some of the different design changes over the time, I can't get behind. Like the Freelancer change, I didn't like. The Cutlass was okay. The Cutlass was fine. They made it a little bit beefier, kind of like the elegance of the old Cutlass, but okay, I get it. They beefed up the Cutlass. All right. I miss the 300 series being the old stock car, race car vibe. Totally. And I know there's a lot of people that are feeling me right now. Like you're deep down feeling me, and deep in my heart, you miss that old 300 series stock car feeling, man. I know you guys are out there. Totally miss the vibe on the old 300.
For fast deliveries. And at a push with its 4x3 guns and the pilot control, it can even help out a bit in the fights. Assuming you haven't got a load of RMC stash that you don't want to risk. One ship which we don't quite know how much it will cost in game yet is the MISC Hull A, and it might just be worth taking a look to see if the Hull A's external cargo is a bit quicker and easier to stack with the boxes. Again, I feel like you could maybe benefit from having an extra member on logistics. Maybe they could move between the Vulture and Max in Dead Space to help speed up the transfer of boxes from the Vulture to the Max when you need to offload. But if you did want to dial things up to 11, you could go with a bigger op like this. At the core are 2 Reclaimers and a C2 as the offload cargo ship. Admittedly, since these 3 ships would need to be owned by an individual, representing just over 35 million credits of investment, this is probably one for orgs with a sense of collective purpose.
That's not a bad,
but to me, that's what MMOs are really about.
Right there.
Maybe the org leader's 890J party boat will just have to wait. Reclaimers, with their pilot, 2 stripping turrets, and the need for logisticians to keep the RMC cycling out of the compactor, will probably require a crew of 4 to 5 to operate at peak efficiency. So with 2 of them and an extra 2 folks to handle the C2, you're looking at 10 to 12 members at the core. And if you're going to keep this both fed and safe, you'll probably want a more serious combat element.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Loud Guns. I gotta tell you, I'm digging this. I might subscribe to this guy. I like this content here. If you're live, go over there and tell him what's up. Tell him DG360 sent you. I'm really digging it. That's a good fleet composition right there. That's actually a pretty good fleet composition.
Queue more Hurricanes and potentially the inclusion of something like a Redeemer, particularly if you wanted to get some less experienced folks some combat time in the turrets.
Yeah.
If you're going up against something more massive like an Idris as part of the critical threat beacons, you might consider incorporating a bomber like the Retaliator. But just remember that with Salvage being the goal, you don't necessarily want to go for overkill and blow your intended prizes to smithereens.
It's brand new to me.
The bigger operations also have the potential to incorporate a support element.
Yeah, I think
If you've dealt with the aforementioned bottlenecks of finding suitable salvage and the return to base, then maybe the next issue becomes having to head back to resupply. Adding a MISC Starfarer with a tank of fuel could keep everyone out for longer.
Yes, it could keep everybody out for longer. You see, I'm listening to this guy, and this is what I did in Eve. If I really felt like they had a good handle on this aspect of the game, I would make them FCs. I would put them in charge of their own fleet, because I feel like guys that think this way have a really good perspective on keeping people alive and keeping people having fun playing the game. One of the really crazy things is when you look at this type of gameplay, there's so many facets of gameplay. Another reason why I love Star Citizen. There are so many different facets of gameplay, even now in its alpha form, that when I hear people talk like he is, I think to myself, okay, this dude needs to, he's putting together a fleet in a manner which I'm highly in agreement with. I believe for me to look at this, I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. A lot. As somebody who creates organizations or gives people a place that they can call home, it's really important to assign FCs who have the ability to do this. It's not an easy thing to do. It really isn't, to find a person who is into this and this is their style of fun. This is what they love to do. When you do find somebody like this, you hold on to them, you cherish them, you say, thank you, God, for being in this organization. Thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be able to survive longer. That is when you're playing a game that's resource dependent, it is very important to find somebody who is able to have the ability to create a group of people in such a manner that you have a longer probability of survival. I like this guy. I like him a lot.
And don't forget that combat crews could always bring along multi-tools, allowing them to steal a bit of RMC to patch up their own ships, and avoid hitting up the stations for repairs. Finally, I've added a carrack to represent a scouting element, although I'm not sure at this point what the best ship for the job might be.
Right.
CIG have stated that we'll be able to find procedurally generated wrecks in the same kind of way that we currently find mineable rocks. So it might also help to have a crew dedicated to searching for particularly valuable prizes out in the black. The beauty of this is that you can kind of scale it up as much as you like, simply add more reclaimers and C2s and additional pods to cover the industry, and balance them with more combat ships and support vessels.
Tookie, you took the words right out of my mouth. The Crucible is one of those ships. It's a ship, for those people who don't know what the Crucible is a larger ship that can take care of, I'm not quite sure the sizing. It's a slightly larger ship, but it actually can repair other ships in space. The Crucible is one of those ships I have been looking forward to for a long time, Tookie. We will not see this ship come to fruition for a very long time because they have to put together the engineering schematic or schema. And they have to put the engineering and the capacitor gameplay and mechanics in place and the parts and pieces of all ships before the Crucible gets released. I think that once we see the engineering completed, all the parts, that you will then see the Crucible. I do.
Finding the right ratio and fine-tuning this is what striving for ultimate operational efficiency is all about. And thankfully, that's what some space nerds like me truly love.
Yes, Jordan, yes.
So I hope you found this interesting. In case you haven't guessed it already, I am really looking forward to 318, and I can't wait to put some of these ideas to the test in the open
Oz.
PTU when that gets here. If you found it
We need other elements of gameplay as well, like Oz is mentioning. The link to this, of course, is to have a universal shared star map in which we can place waypoints to check out. Completely agree with you. Tookie says, I love this. Tookie says, the longer it takes, the better it will be. That's what I keep telling myself, at least. I know, dude. I tell myself that almost every day. And then Dorden brings up a great comment, and I agree with him completely. He says about Salvage, it must be more in-depth than Hard Space Shipbreakers 1. Yes, absolutely agree with you. I certainly hope 3.18 doesn't disappoint everyone. Agree with you as well, DY. I don't think it will. I think 3.18 is going to be significant. I think it will have an impact, and it's going to be different from other patches. I think it will bring a lot to the table, and I think you'll get a slight pump in numbers. It will hype people up, and good. We need that. It's been a while. We need to hype people back up, get people back in. There's all of these cycles. Right now, we're at a lull. We're at a phase where it's a little bit slow, and then what do we see? Then we see it just boom, like hardcore. Like the people in this room right now, everybody watching on stream right now are hardcore Star Citizen backers. You know, when we get to the end of the year like this, and we've had such a year, and we've had so many content creators out there, just putting out their opinions for good or bad, and it's just been like this cathartic moment, and we're just taking a breath. At the end of the day, you have to say to yourself, man, like, there has been development that has happened. Contrary to popular public opinion, there actually has been a lot of progress that has happened. And we do need to recognize it. We do need to keep Cloud Imperium on point, though. And we have to make sure that the money that has been brought in, that is record-breaking, is being applied correctly to the right people, with the right talent, with the right passion. Cooper says, I just hope Morph is okay. Limitless says hardcore. Dorden continues on. He says, I want to be able to find wrecks, glue multiple wrecks and weld them together to make makeshift stations. That would be cool. But I think that's way down the road if that ever does happen, Jordan. But I totally think that would be amazing. Let's see here. Gator's laughing. Tookie says, so much can't be pushed further out without server meshing. Absolutely, Tookie. You are on the ball with that, dude. The fact that PS is running well is very exciting. One more step. Yes, you guys are bringing up very good points. Cooper says he's joking. Oz says there is so much to this patch, I kid you not. I think 3.18 is significant. I will agree with you, Oz. I think that it is. So I got news, says Jordan. I'm just look at the code using SD2AI to texture 3D objects, including depth and normal maps. Interesting. And then Cooper says, I mean, I don't wish him harm. Cooper's talking about Morph still. Yes. I think it has been a more meaningful and eventful year than Morph has portrayed it or painted it to be. I do agree with that. Lots of high-level stuff coming together. Fine by me, says Gator. Imagine you have a ship model and you type texture this with steel, chrome spaceship with feel of Star Wars, and it does it.
Find it useful and think I'm doing a good job, then please consider donating a like and subscribe. This channel, which I started just under 2 years ago, has just ticked over 13,500 subs, and honestly that's just unbelievable to me. As we roll into the Open PTU and the next patch, I'm really going to be diving into Salvage and try to put together a guide which is sort of on a par, if not better than my Quantanium
I like this guy's
mining
content.
guide. If you're keen with the new patch to get involved in some more of the multiplayer side of SC, then please just consider coming and joining our community Discord. The link's just down in the video description below. There's absolutely no pressure to join our org, and we run community nights to give folks their first taste of what Star Citizen can really offer.
I like what he's doing.
And with all that said, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, let's go over there. Let's support this guy. I'm going to put the video link in there and tell him that DG360 said hello and that we're going to support this dude. This is what we do. 13,500 subscribers. I mean, like, we've seen many people lower than my subscriber count shoot right past me. I think that Loud Guns is going to be another dude that does this, and I will be left in the murk, in the mire, in the swamp, and I will focus on that, and I will say, damn it, DG, why do you suck so bad? And then I will answer myself, and I will say, dude, think more positively, keep going, never stop. And that is the voice that I listen to every night. That is the voice that I listen to.